Hey everybody, Leah Klett here with the Christian Post. My guest today is former American Idol winner Trent Harmon. We're talking about his brand new album, Scars and Sins. This is your first Christian EP, which is a huge deal. Take me back to what inspired you to create it and also sort of shift from country to Christian music.
What inspired it? So these songs, I'd written these songs prior. Like a faith-based song would pop its head up in a right, and I'd say, what if we chase this? I have a lot of followers and a lot of listeners that are from the church, and I go to church, and then it became, well, I don't necessarily feel like writing a country song today. What if we write a song like this? And then I realized I was writing more and more faith-based stuff in my own time. And what inspired it? I don't know. These songs are the ones that I wanted to end my show with. And then I kind of realized I wanted my whole show to be these songs.
Hmm.
And I come from a worship leader background, like a lot of people in country music, but I kept wanting to go do more shows that were more spirit filled rather and I got nothing against any of the shows that I played. I've played shows behind chicken wire, getting bottles thrown at you, those kind of shows, and then I've played plenty of shows that were great. But I don't know, I feel most at comfort whenever I'm playing songs that I know have a purpose, have a meaning behind them.
Was there a song that was hardest to write or one that felt the most healing for you?
um Scars and Sins is a good one. I mean, the title track, uh, it really, Scars and Sins really talks about how we all kind of have a moment where we look and we think, man, I'm too far gone. I'm too far gone. I might as well just stay on this path because I'm not, there's no need. Like I won't be accepted on the side of light and good and this, Scars and Sin says that's what he's looking for. That's how, once we realize you are broken without Jesus, that's where he wants you. That's exactly where we need you. And Scars and Sins talks about that exactly. Scars and That's the hook. Scars and Sins, that's how the light gets in. um yeah, that song right there, and then Make Her Laugh I wrote for my daughter. That's the last track on the EP, and it's pretty special. Those two, if I had to put a bow on it, yeah, those two.
I love that. Okay, so you won American Idol in 2016.
Yes.
How did that experience shape you, not just musically, but spiritually too?
um I went to church throughout the entirety of the show. There was a church that met next door in an old theater, and I don't know if you follow much of the show, but I was sick. I was really sick. I had mono, and so I would have to even sit by myself at the church. uh and I don't know, I felt, I remember there were a couple of weeks where we taped on Sundays and I wasn't able to go to church, and I kind of felt out of sorts. I felt like maybe I missed kind of getting charged up for the week ahead because it was draining for sure, especially being sick during all of it. And Yeah, I remember looking over at my roommate and saying, "Man, I don't feel like what's off today." And he said, "Well, we didn't go to church today." That He was from LA and showed me the church that he went to, and I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "That's kind of, I guess that is. We've been doing that every week since we were here. We didn't do it today. That's what's off." Um, and I kept a journal. I kept a prayer journal throughout the show, and I referenced it a lot on the show. I held it up the last night of the finale, and um, yeah, I mean, I dare somebody to go try to do something as monumental as being on a TV show for that long and not have a faith background. I mean, I'm sure you could do it, but woo, good luck. You're gonna need it.
How so?
I mean, I don't really want to get into the nitty gritty of it, but like it, at least that's been a couple years ago. But like back then, it wasn't necessarily popular. I feel like more so now. There are more artists that are in that space that are really doing well. But 7, 8, 9 years ago, it wasn't as popular to reference God, on stage or sing spirit filled music. It was, but it was like, that has its own thing. Keep it over there. And I don't know. I didn't really try to shy away from it. I remember sitting around sharing songs with several contestants one night, and I didn't have a lot of originals that I had penned myself that were very good, and so I played a song that I led worship with uh, at University of Arkansas at Monticello, and it was a song that I really liked. I played that, and I remember the feeling in the room. Everybody shared their original songs, and I played a worship song, and it's good to come across different. You know, I'm not Jesus, but Jesus was different,
Mhm.
and there was a different feeling in the room, and I thought, you know what, that I didn't write that song, but it left a mark tonight. There was definitely there was a tangible. It was kind of, we could feel it in the room. And I would rather make a difference with songs that make a difference than songs that are just another song about, you know whatever, just another pop song. Nothing wrong with that, but I'd rather make a lasting impression. Things change. You've got four babies. Things change whenever you have kids. You want to leave more of a legacy. You think about everything that you do and every song I write. And would Dolly be proud of this? Is this something that she would want to play for her kids one day? And yeah, you kind of consider them with everything that you do day to day. And the songs that are on this EP, I'm proud of. I want Dolly to show it to her friends and so on and so forth. And all my nieces and nephews that are here, these songs are songs that I want them to play forever and ever.
Well, it's
Yeah.
interesting because there's been such a shift on American Idol. Now they have, you know,
Yes.
Jelly
This year.
Roll singing with Brandon Lake and Kirk Franklin, and they have
Yeah.
Gospel Week. I mean, it's crazy the shift that's happened in the last couple of years.
It's real. It's real. It's cool again. Not that it ever wasn't, but it is. Yeah, you're right.
Do you think it counts for this shift? Why do you think it is starting to go in a more spiritual direction?
I mean, the last 5 years have been, I mean, go back to COVID. If you can remember 2020, a lot has changed since 2020. We were just talking yesterday about how long ago that seems. It seems like it was 50 years ago, but it was only 5 years ago. And I don't know. I feel like people have been looking for something for the last 2 or 3 years coming out of COVID, trying to find zero again, trying to recalibrate. And if that thing whether they know it, that thing that they're looking for is Jesus. And I feel like maybe a lot of people are realizing that, like, oh, we, because the long and short of it is a lot of people probably went to church before COVID that didn't go during, and it's a habit you get in and a habit you can fall out of. I mean, going to church is a lot of things, but it's a habit. You got to get out of the bed and go. And I thought people are finding that again, and I'm here for it. I mean, I love the Jesus Revolution movie, and I thought, man, that was 70 in the 70s. That might as well have been in the 1870s. But it seems like we could be right on the precipice of it happening again.
Absolutely. Do you still keep in touch with your fellow contestants or any of the judges? I know that was a while ago.
The contestants, a couple of them, yeah. Like I said, I had mono.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really, like, I was doing quarantine before quarantine. I was just in a bathroom by myself throughout the show. But I keep in touch with a couple of them, especially Manny. That was my roommate for one portion of it while I was allowed to have a roommate. Yeah, he just had his first baby. I talked to him a good bit, but no, not a ton. I think I'm the only one that's Nashville based. So most everyone else went home or stayed on the West Coast.
Yeah. So, do you think country music and Christian music are going growing closer together? And what sort of space do you see yourself occupying in that intersection of Christian music and country music?
I do, absolutely. I see, like, the divide in the genre is getting smaller and smaller, like you said, with Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake doing a crossover, and not just doing the crossover, it being successful. Like, it's been a successful bridge that they've gapped. Uh, where do I see myself? Well, I mean, I had a hit record in the country format. Like that was huge to write and tour a hit record right after the show. And so I have fans that know me in the format just from country music. And oh my goodness, I'm grateful to them for hanging around. Just wait, like, what are you gonna do, man? What are you doing with your music? You've been playing a lot of churches lately. What is that something? And yeah, I see myself being able to kind of do those same things, bridge that gap as a Brandon Lake or a Jelly Roll would. Pair me up with somebody that's purely country, and or if I'm that person, pair me up with a Kirk Franklin or whatever, and do a crossroads of sorts there. Yeah, I have a foot of fans in each genre. And those two genres have always, I mean, as far back as Elvis and even before then, like the two genres have always intermingled and mixed. And yeah, if that's something that I'm able to do, I'm proud to do it. I will say though, this EP is there are some country overtones and undertones. I mean, we got a steel guitar here and there, but it's a faith-based EP. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that you've embraced Christian music, do you think you'll stay in that genre, or are you open to exploring other ones in the future?
Not right now. No, no. I'm at peace with the songs and the music that I'm making right now, and not that I wasn't in country. Um I've always been in church, Leah. I've been in church since I was a baby, and it's where I feel most comfortable. And I'm not 20 anymore. So I was just happy to have a song on the radio as soon as I came off Idol, and anybody should be. You should just be happy to have success beyond the show, no matter what the measurement of it is. But I played at a church Sunday, and it was a smaller church, but I didn't care if it had been 2,000 or 200 people. I just thought I feel comfortable doing this, man. I'm back to my roots. I'm playing the music that I know the words to. I'm not having to change any lyrics so that my mom won't be upset if she sees it online later. I'm doing what my daughter, if she were here, I wouldn't have to take her to the green room for the whole show because she couldn't hear any of it. Like this is what I'm supposed to do.
So,
Yeah.
what do you hope listeners walk away with after hearing Scars and Sins?
I'm gonna kind of read paraphrase it. I said that my hope is that this music will encourage hearts and strengthen faith, and it will remind listeners that God is always working, even in the waiting. Um, I feel like I've had to wait for just the right stars to be in place, and it's not about me. Listeners, fans have been waiting also. They've been waiting on me to put out a body of work, uh, and I'm proud to say that we got it right. I had a manager one time right off the show said, if you get the music right, the rest is a lot easier. Whatever kind of music it is, Trent, he said, just get the music right. Be true to whatever music it is you want to make, and it will be a lot easier for everyone to digest, including yourself. Um, these songs are something special, Leah. I mean, really, I got to write with the best songwriters in the world. I feel like are in Nashville, Tennessee, and they weren't necessarily writing a worship album, but they wanted to write whatever I brought to the table that day. And even if they were country writers, a lot of those are faith-based individuals, and we wrote some songs that are pretty doggone good.